There's a newsstand over there! Wanna grab a copy of the Steambird? We know our Fontanian friends love a little drama. There's no way they've let their readers down. Isn't that Charlotte? And standing next to her, surely that can't be Kinich?
How about... Lost treasure resurfaces at last. Behold the beauty of the Remurian teacup. Pretty shocking. But it still feels like it's missing something. Ah, got it! Udex gravely wounded in shocking stabbing. Set to miss cross-border smuggling trial.
Huh? What? Did Paimon hear that right? Neuvillette was stabbed and gravely wounded? No, surely that can't be right. Can it?
Hey there, you two. Fancy running into you here.
Yeah, that, and also a less than pleasant shock. What the heck was all that about a Saurian meat restaurant and the Udex getting stabbed? Please say you weren't being serious. Trading tabloid headlines?
Yeah. Charlotte and I were having a little contest to see who could find the most ridiculous fake news stories. Either I got lucky, or I have a knack for honing in on the most outrageous material. If I had to quantify it, I'd say about 1% of what they write is the truth.
Huh? Him? Lenient? Oh, you gotta be kidding! Ah!
Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to give credit to these so-called news stories for occasionally including a grain of truth. All I'm saying is, even the wildest leaps of the human imagination are always rooted in reality.
You mean all those fake headlines you mentioned actually do have some basis in fact?
Sure they do. For instance, there was in fact a smuggling trial recently. Considering the amount of speculation surrounding the smuggled goods, it's no wonder there are rumors about restaurants serving saurian meat or teacups being unearthed from ancient ruins. But in reality, the goods in question were simply a few ancient relics dug up from ruins in Natlan. Rest assured, no saurians were harmed in the process.
Paimon was so busy freaking out about those headlines that she totally forgot to ask why you're here in Fontaine, Kinich.
It was a pretty open and shut case, and my testimony in court was clear enough. But I'm guessing, Mademoiselle Charlotte, that you're less interested in the case than you are in trying to uncover some news stories about Natlan. I appreciate your kind invitation, but like I said, storytelling isn't really my forte.
Kinich the speechless! Kinich the tongue-tied! Huh?
If you're dead set on doing an interview, why not talk to the Traveler instead?
Charlotte never stops, does she? Anyway, Paimon just has to ask, that owl thing that popped out before, or was it a howl? It kind of looked like a howl, but at the same time...
Oh, that thing. Yeah, that was a howl.
Huh? What's up with him? Like, he's still noisy, but he's way quieter than before. It's like he's trying to hide or something.
Could be.
Not acclimatizing? Aw, poor Almighty Dragon Lord is not feeling well.
Too bad he can't come out to argue back.
What do you mean?
There's nothing physically wrong with him. It actually has to do with a strange law we learned about after arriving in Fontaine. Apparently, it's forbidden to release flying objects within Fontaine city limits during the first 3 days of each month.
Paimon sure does. Paimon's been down this road before. There's an easy solution. As long as Kaniche holds onto a house tail, he'll be considered an Almighty Dragon Lord balloon, not a flying Almighty Dragon Lord.
Not gonna lie, I was considering that. But Ahau wasn't too thrilled with the idea of huffing and puffing away in the form of a mini helium balloon. That said, it's pretty annoying how he keeps randomly popping up all of a sudden. Anyway, this morning I saw a notice outside the Palais Mermonia about an event that's set to take place outside the city soon. Something to do with filmmaking. I hear that's all the rage here. I was planning to stay here and do some exploring for a few extra days anyway, so I think I'll go check it out. It'll be a good chance to let that noisy helium balloon out. He might even learn a thing or two. If you're free, why don't you come along? I know where it is, so let me lead the way. Looks like I remembered correctly. Here we are.
Wow, this is awesome! Hard to believe it was just an empty beach before.
Yeah, it was still completely deserted only a few days ago when I passed by on my way to testify at the Opera House. There must be some efficient workers in Fontaine. Quite impressive.
A few days? One night was all it took. Rap-a-tap-tap, ta-da! But is this all it takes to blow people away? Oh, no. Given my past experience, I can't let myself get carried away. Well, I can't believe you actually remember me. It's me, Lapine Pauline. That's right, the unlucky one. Of course! How else would we have managed to build Fantasyland in a single night?
Fantasyland?
At least that's how I like to think of it myself. A magical land of fantasy, the stuff of film buffs' dreams. I know it sounds like I'm laying it on thick, but that really is the goal here. As you can see, the theme of this amusement park is Fontainian filmmaking, a place for all film lovers to come together and co-construct a world of dreams.
Co-construct? Well, that's a relief. Sounds like you're sharing the cost this time rather than pouring your entire life savings into a single project.
Nope! I might be inviting others to help fund this, but that doesn't mean I haven't thrown all of my life savings into it too!
Huh? You've gotta be kidding. Ha! Look at you, puny little humans. Recklessly betting your entire future against some stupid vanity project. If you're expecting even an ounce of sympathy from the Almighty Dragon Lord, dream on! Mockery is all you shall get, straight from the heart!
Sorry, just ignore that little gizmoid. He likes to butt in occasionally. Do go on.
Gizmoid? Who are you calling Gizmoid? You're the Gizmoid!
Wow! That's quite a nifty mecha you've got yourself there. Is it some sort of smart personal assistant? You ought to let Miss Charlotte see your cool gadget. Who knows? Maybe you could even look into mass production!
Mass production? Ugh, insolent, vulgar, and disrespectful! I, the Almighty Dragon Lord, am one of a kind! There has never been another like me, nor will there ever be! And another thing, smart is the understatement of the century! I shall have you know that I am Kahulahau, forebear of ancient wisdom! I lived for eons long before any of you were born!
What? Heavens above! I beg your pardon, forebear of ancient wisdom. Please, I meant no offense.
Idiot meets idiot.
What's all the fuss? Making some new friends, are we?
Miss Navia! Allow me to introduce the star behind all the work that's gone into this venue. Miss Navia, President of Fontaine Spina di Rosula.
Hello, everyone. Partner, Paimon, how have you been lately?
Hello there. I'm Kanich.
What about me? What about me? My useless servant can't even give me a proper introduction.
You'd think someone yelling their name out in the middle of a public street really needs an introduction?
He's not wrong. I caught yours just now, in fact. So, you must be the almighty Dragon Lord, Mr. Ahau. It's a pleasure to meet you.
See that? That's what I call proper manners. Well, it's not every day you meet a well-mannered human. Navia, was it? Excellent. You may address the almighty Dragon Lord by his name. Navia, don't you think the title Almighty Dragon Lord is a bit silly?
It's no big deal. All little animals do that, don't they? I mean, try to puff themselves up to look more impressive.
Anyway, it's all thanks to Miss Navia and the Spina di Rosula that Fantasyland's gotten up and running in the space of a single night. Honestly, thank heavens! After all that paperwork and endless waiting, the event and venue finally got the green light. I couldn't wait a moment longer. The second the approval came through, I reached out to President Navia, hoping she could lend a hand. After all, who else but the Spina di Rosula would indulge such impulsive demands?
Sorry, traveler. Miss Lapine Pauline sometimes gets a bit overwhelmed by her own excitement, as you can see. I'm guessing she hasn't gone into much detail about the event yet, so let me fill you in. In short, the Cheval Moran Film Fantasyland is a fan convention that's open to film enthusiasts from all over Teyvat. Miss Lapine Pauline is hosting this event and also providing technical support.
Huh? Cheval Moran?
That's right, the one and only Surintendant Cheval Moran! After much persistence and many solicitations, I finally obtained Lady Farina's permission to use the image of her close friend. Not only is our adorable mascot drawing in fans by the minute, but she's also boosting her own popularity. And that was always the goal, a win-win arrangement.
It's been a while since we last met, but still, it's a surprise to hear Lapine Pauline coming out with such sensible ideas. By the way, Miss Lapine Pauline, have you decided to switch careers and go into film tech?
Not exactly. By chance, one of the prototype lenses I developed caught a photographer's eye, and it's now being used for the latest cinematic productions. Thanks to this unexpected opportunity, I've had the chance to invent various film-related equipment and props.
That's right. So don't underestimate Miss Lapine Pauline, our resident engineer. She's the technical powerhouse at the core of this entire event. As for the Spina di Rosula, we're mainly here to take care of planning, operations, and management. For anyone feeling inspired to set up a booth, Miss Lapine Pauline and I will provide the necessary technical and operational support once their application has been approved. By the way, traveler, are you at all interested in taking part? It would be a chance for you to earn some extra income. Plus, with your skills, I'm sure you could bring something special to the table.
Paimon would be even more tempted if you were to, say, throw in one of those fancy feasts she's seen in those gourmet food reels.
Well, as it happens, that'll be a piece of cake. Everyone needs to eat, whether they be tourists or the stall owners themselves. So thanks to Miss Navia's help, we've managed to invite none other than the celebrity chef, Miss Escoffier, to run our theme restaurant. Look over there!
You! Yes, you! For the last time, the ingredients have to be in the right ratio! Get it right next time, or you might as well just lie down on the chopping board yourself.
She seems a bit busy right now.
Well, I'm sold. I think I'll make a How go be her assistant.
You little... What's your game here?
Demoiselle, sorry to bother you, but there's an issue over here that requires your personal attention.
Apologies. Looks like it's back to work with me. Please feel free to take a gander at what we've got. Anyway, if you're interested in taking part, come find me later.
Greetings. Apologies if you overheard my harsh words just now, but I assure you it is entirely necessary. The sheer lack of standards here will be the death of me. Do you have any idea of the kind of customers I'm gonna get with how lax things are at the moment? The ones that leave their guns behind by accident, and then come back to collect them later, bringing ammunition with them.
Yeah, that's the kind of customer you wouldn't forget in a hurry.
Oh...
Wait, has that happened before?
No, it's just the mention of guns reminded me. Someone did actually leave their gun nearby.
Huh?
Just before we started setting up, as we were cleaning up the site, someone stumbled upon a mysterious locked box. It didn't look like something from Fontaine, though. It had more of a Natlanese vibe.
Oh?
Do you think a foreign tourist might have left it behind?
That's what I assumed at first. But the box was buried beneath a pile of wooden planks, rocks, and whatnot, so it seemed like someone deliberately hid it there. But I didn't see much point in speculating, so the best thing I could think of was to hand it over to the authorities. I trekked all the way over to the Palais Mermonia just to hand it in. Ugh, it was exhausting.
What did the authorities make of it?
Oh, they made a mountain out of a molehill, as usual. Before even addressing the question of what was actually inside the box, they had several heated discussions about whose responsibility it was to write the lost and found notice. Thankfully, the ever-reliable Officer Sedine stepped up and immediately called in the Marechaussee Phantom to crack the lock and check if there were any dangerous items inside. And, as it turned out, there was a gun.
Wow, that's a dangerous item, all right.
Mind if I ask what kind of gun it was?
Oh yeah, Mr. Kanich, you're from Natlan, aren't you? Do you know a lot about guns?
You could say it comes with the job. I have an interest in weaponry and the like.
Such a spoiled brat. What, are the toys I gave you not good enough for you anymore?
Yep, got sick of those long ago.
You little... How dare you turn your nose up at my gifts? Why
Time for a timeout, old-timer. Sorry, where were we? Oh yeah, do you recall what the gun looked like?
It's a bit hard to describe. If you ask me, it didn't even really look like a gun. Give me a second. I'll knock out a quick sketch. Something like this. it's nothing. Sorry. Is something wrong with my drawing? I know it doesn't really look like a gun, but I assure you, this is exactly what it looked like. And it certainly could shoot as well, too. I confirmed that with the officer from the Marechaussee Phantom.
No, quite the opposite. The features are very accurate, and it is definitely from Natlan. Please, don't mind me. I'm just taking a moment to admire it.
I should be the one thanking you. Thank you, and everyone else for your support.
Don't mention it. Besides, we haven't really done anything.
Not at all! The buzz and excitement you guys bring is exactly what this event needs. Oh dear, I'm starting to feel a bit guilty watching everyone else toil away. Guess it's about time I got back to work too. But just before I go, one last thing. Traveler, it's wonderful to see you. Here's to a successful collaboration!
I'm sure you noticed that there was something unusual about that gun. Correct. It's most likely an old weapon dug up from some ancient dragon ruins. Based on my experience, it might be more accurate to refer to it as a hand cannon, but in Fontaine terms, it's not wrong to call it a gun. Given why I came here, don't you think it's curious that an ancient dragon relic of unknown origin would turn up like this, out of the blue? I suspect this gun might have something to do with that smuggling case. It might have slipped through the cracks. Time is of the essence, so I'd like to head over to the Palais Mermonia to verify my suspicions. Perfect. Then we can head out right away. Or, if you want to catch up with your friends first, I can wait.
Traveler, it's you! Ready to join the Cheval Moran Film Fantasyland crew? No problem. We'll be ready when you are.
The fresh vegetables from the new batch are exceptional quality. I just wish I could say the same about the new staff.
Oh, man.
Bro!
Are you mimicking me? Now's not the time. Come on.
No, I mean, one of our buddies is here, for real. Quite a few of them, actually.
Aurora and Aoife, what brings you to Fontaine?
Huh? How come you're... I'm guessing Kanich is here because of that international smuggling case, right? I've heard quite a bit about that.
Word sure gets around quickly, huh?
First time abroad and you're already making headlines.
Oh, stop it. It's not like I was the center of attention.
Wasn't expecting to see the Traveler and Paimon here too, though.
Come on, Aoife.
Huh?
A traveler, by definition, is someone who travels around.
Fair point. Anyway, back on topic. Wait a second. I lost my train of thought. what were we talking about again?
Why you're all here, of course.
For vegetables.
For Huh?
I'll go first. It's for the Chevrolamine Film Fantasyland. Wait, is that right?
It's Cheval Moran.
Ah, right. I keep stumbling over that one. Guess I owe Cheval Moran an apology, even if she's not here. Anyway, long story short, the festival restaurant urgently needed fresh vegetables from that land, which is why Eva and I are here.
So, you guys are vegetable couriers?
He is. I'm just here as a responsible adult. It's his first time traveling so far away from home, and all the elders in his tribe were worried. So they had me come along.
Even though it's your first time too.
Right, but they still picked me to accompany you. You gotta wonder why that might be.
Don't you get it? They all just saw how overworked you were, so they used it as an excuse to send you off on a vacation.
Wait, what? So I'm getting the grandson treatment now too? See, doesn't matter how much older you are than this dude. Hang out with him long enough, and you'll eventually find yourself being treated like a kid.
Meaning everyone looks after you. What's so bad about that?
In theory, nothing at all. In that case, guess I better start over. Hi guys, my name's Aoife, and I just turned 5.
Paimon's not sure who the responsible adult is anymore. So, what about Kakuku? If he was here, we'd be making more of a ruckus than we already are.
That's exactly what's got me worried.
Aoife, there's nothing to worry about. You're a big boy. You can handle yourself now even without Kakuku.
You think that's what I'm worried about? Anyway, my priority right now is Kakuku. Suffice it to say, Kakuku's in big doo-doo.
How so? He's so small, and all he knows are a few harmless phrases. What kind of trouble could he even get himself into?
Let me guess. Did he get caught out by the law on flying objects?
Bro, you too?
Not me. How?
Oh, that pesky little chatterbox. So that's why he hasn't interrupted us this whole time. Guess he's too scared to show his face.
That, plus he's already spouted enough nonsense for one day. So I've put him on mute until tomorrow.
Nice one. If I was even half as decisive as you are, I would have kept a closer hold on Kakuku so he didn't get a chance to go flying off.
Oh no, bro. Or rather, did Kakuku get caught by the guards for flying around?
If they had managed that, we'd at least be able to track him down. But when the guards started chasing him, Kakuku flew into that building next door. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a high-stakes pursuit going down in there as we speak. Just like one of those cool crime movies.
Which building? That one?
Yup, that's the one. Kakuku sure has a good eye for a getaway. It's the tallest building around. I may be able to fly up pretty high, but checking every last window would still take quite a while. As for Aoife, well, let's just say he's not flying anywhere without a Saurian. Sorry about that.
Not like it's my fault, though. You don't have to apologize on my behalf.
Wait a sec. What's this got to do with how high you can fly? Kakuku's got himself into a real mess here, like a panicked animal running straight into a trap. It's pretty worrying. I'm starting to picture him flapping through a barrage of gunfire while important documents are flying about left, right, and center.
Heck yeah! If anyone can pull it off, it's Kakuku. He's always been such an awesome Saurus. I believe in him.
For real now? Do you even hear yourself, bro?
Of course I'm for real. I'd never make light of something like that.
All right. Everyone's an awesome Saurus. Well, the human version. But our priority right now should be to go in there and check up on Kakuku.
Leave it to us.
You sure? Wow, awesome. That'll be a huge help.
And if Kakuku doesn't listen to you, I give you permission to pull out a couple of his feathers.
Wait, since when was that up to you?
Well, then it's your call, bro.
All right then, if Kakuku doesn't listen to you, I also give you permission to pull out a couple of his feathers.
There you go. If he objects to that, tell him to come find us.
He won't. Trust me.
Nothing new there. The first few.
What's all that commotion?
No way, bro!
Did he say he came from Natlan?
No.
Get out of here!
I can understand his words, just not what they mean.
Oh no. Bro!
He keeps repeating the same things over and over again.
Oh, you know one another.
He's a friend! Yeah! A saurian friend of a human friend!
Great. Well, that was easy. Looks like we've tracked down the owner. Guess that's one less lost and found notice for you to write, Monsieur Neuvillette.
For real?
Traveler, was there something important you wanted to discuss with the Udex? I'm just about done with my business here. Need me to step out?
Stay and hear them out first. Perhaps it will have some bearing on your own work. If I'm not mistaken, you are the same Mr. Kanich who served as a witness in the smuggling trial? I take it there's been a further development in the case.
That's right. Very perceptive, Mr. Udex.
So you've met Neuvillette before? But wasn't the trial overseen by another judge?
I've seen his photo in the papers. But as for this other gentleman...
Allow me to introduce you to Mr. Wriothesley, administrator of the Fortress of Meripede. Or in layman's terms, Fontaine's prison warden. Please, feel free to share anything about the case. There's no need to keep anything from him.
Pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you!
Wow, that sounded just like me. But should we really discuss official business in front of the Saurian?
Oh wow! Oh no!
I believe he said... Or rather, I suppose he meant that he'll keep this to himself. Though I should mention, Mr. Kukuku, that we will have to ask you to sign a confidentiality agreement.
Sure thing, bro!
Let us return to the matter at hand. Mr. Kanich, was there something else you wanted to discuss relating to the case?
Yes. Let me fill you in.
Wow! It really is exactly like Lapine Pauline's sketch! It must be all that practice drawing engineering blueprints, huh?
So if it's true that this weapon came into Fontaine alongside the contraband from the smuggling case, then there's a high chance we overlooked a suspect.
That's exactly my line of thought.
I see. Mr. Kanich, thank you for reporting this promptly. I'll arrange for the Marechaussee Phantom to investigate right away. We should begin by questioning the prisoners in custody. Wriothesley.
I'll sign off on the interrogation request, don't you worry.
That would be much appreciated.
It's lucky that the Palais Mermonia wasn't scheduled to release any public bulletins today, and that this gun's lost and found notice hasn't been written up yet. In other words, the news hasn't leaked.
I'll be staying in Fontaine for the time being. If there's any progress in the investigation or you need my help, feel free to reach out anytime.
Yep, we were just about to go help out with Lapine Pauline's convention. If there's any news, we'll keep you all posted.
Marvelous. Thank you all. Well then, all that's left is to...
You miss me, bro?
He really does come out with the most unexpected things. Who did he learn it all from? Huh. Well, it's pretty extraordinary.
Anyway, according to due process, we must first determine whether Mr. Kakuku qualifies as a flying object. And, following on from our conversation just now, he also needs to sign a confidentiality agreement. Drafting said agreement may take some time.
Looks like you'll be staying with us for a while then, Kakuku. Excited?
That would save us a lot of trouble. Many thanks.
All right then, we better get going. No need to see us off.
What's the situation? How bad is it? Oh no. When I saw that Kakuku wasn't with you, I'd already prepared myself for the worst.
Relax, Aoife. Maybe Kakuku just prefers high-rise living now. Sometimes you just have to let the kids grow up and make their own choices in life.
For real now? Do you even hear yourself, bro?
It's not that bad. Kakuku's fine. Still very much alive and kicking for starters.
He hasn't been arrested either, so no jail time.
See?
You're not exactly reassuring me here.
As for the bad news, well, it's really not that bad. Kakuku accidentally overheard some top secret stuff, so he has to stay at the Palais Mermonia for a while to sign a confidentiality agreement. But there's no need to worry. The person in charge of looking after Kakuku is super nice, so he'll be absolutely fine.
All right. That doesn't sound too bad after all. Wow, hearing that's put my mind to rest.
But based on my understanding of how things work here, the ban on flying objects should be over by the time Kakuku actually gets out.
What a shame. Oh well, I guess we'll just have to go have some fun without him.
You don't look disappointed in the slightest.
Anyway, Auroron and I will be staying in guest rooms upstairs at the Hotel de Boer for the time being. Feel free to drop by if you need us.
Yay! Problem solved! All right, let's catch up another day. It's been a few days. Ban on flying objects should be over by now. Let's head over to the Palais Mermonia to see how Kukuku's doing. Kukuku's learned a new greeting! Is that good news or bad news, though?
Sorry, I did everything within my power. But so far, I've only managed to teach him how to say good morning.
Wait, so that's all you've been up to this whole time? Get out of here! Okay, so good mornings aside, please tell Paimon there's been some other progress too.
Of course. That's why I'm here. Kukuku's not the only one that Mr. Wriothesley's been getting to talk. I'm referring, of course, to the convicts.
It was nothing. These guys weren't exactly tough nuts to crack.
So, what's the deal?
After racking their brains, they remembered speaking to an inconspicuous middle-aged man just as they were preparing to pack up and leave Natlan. He was dressed in the manner of the Children of Echoes and carrying a box. Plus, the description matches the one the gun was found in. All in all, he didn't look any different from your average Natlanese traveler. Perhaps seeing that they were dressed as merchants, this man stopped for a chat, inquiring where their goods were headed, and even asking if they could share a boat. The smugglers were very cautious, though. They didn't tell him any specifics. But all this happened before I crossed paths with them. I happened to notice them as they were preparing to set sail. I thought they looked shady, so I snuck aboard, and ended up being carried along all the way to Fontaine.
Boss, do we know if those Fontainians will even like this stuff? What if we can't shift it?
And that's why we call you a rookie. It's all supply and demand, kid. Supply and demand. Natlan's foreign trade is just starting to lift off. There'll be a market for it, you'll see.
That's right. So stop giving the boss trouble, rookie. Just do your job and keep an eye on the goods.
Are they merchants? Have they come to Fontaine to do business? Scarred face, calloused hands. On closer inspection, the fabric looks worn at the knees and elbows, and his fingernails are dirty. Not exactly your typical merchant. Could he have previously been a warrior? Or even an adventurer? Something feels off. I'd better sneak up and get a closer look.
Nice thinking, boss. This tourist tub's been fast-going and smooth sailing. Plus, no one's been asking us what we're up to.
That goes without saying. Big cargo ship would have been too slow, whereas the smaller ones would have been faster but way too bumpy. If we ended up damaging the goods by accident, all these months spent grafting away would have gone up in smoke.
Seriously? But there's hardly anything here. Would it really have taken them months to prepare? And why would they need to transport it with such care? Could they be secretly smuggling precious items out of Natlan? I'll need to find a way to get to the bottom of this. Let's go hear what these criminals have to say for themselves. Sure enough, there are relics inside the box. It's illegal to smuggle such items outside Natlan.
Hey, why the long face? You're abroad on business, and you get to do some sightseeing while you're at it. Sounds like a pretty sweet deal to me. You'd better cheer up if you know what's good for you.
I guess you're right. I was just worried I might have messed up with the packing, or that something's gonna go wrong along the way.
Oh, pull yourself together. Tons of foreign tourists come traveling to Fontaine. I bet their luggage is full of all kinds of weird stuff. If someone insists on checking it all, just show them the purchase order we had drawn up. Those Fontainians can't get enough of their legalese, so I've heard. They can look all they want.
Aha. So their aim is to smuggle in contraband after all. Looks like I've gathered enough intel about the smugglers and their contraband. Time to inform port security. So anyway, that was when I went and told the Fontainian guards about my suspicions. After an investigation and a chase, they finally apprehended them and sent them on their way.
Well, guess they're headed exactly where they should be.
Thanks.
Based on your recollections just now.
I was completely focused on those smugglers at the time, so I wasn't really paying attention to other passersby.
Yeah, Kanish, you did great!
In other words, the person who brought the gun here, the one who lost it, has no connection to the smugglers whatsoever. They were working entirely on their own.
Oh dear, oh dear!
Sounds like Mr. Kukuku wants to chime in?
He said this elusive individual's actions are positively mystifying.
It's a good observation, I quite agree. However, we still know next to nothing about the person. Perhaps we should start by focusing on the lost item itself.
It certainly seems like it was the bait in some kind of trap. The only question is, why wasn't the bait made more conspicuous?
Has something sprung to mind?
I just remembered a film I watched this one time.
Huh? Oh wow, no way, bro!
Hold on, let me explain. Just now, the traveler speculated that this box might have been placed there on purpose, as if the intention was for someone to come pick it up. That got me thinking about those films about kidnapping cases. When they demand their ransom, the kidnappers tell the victim's family to leave money or valuables at a designated spot for someone to come pick up.
That doesn't merely happen in films. There have been similar cases in real life. In fact, if anything, it's probably the real-life events that inspired the films.
Sounds plausible.
Ooh. Wait. This raises the stakes to a whole new level. If the gun really was some kind of ransom, then since we took the box, the kidnappers never got their payment, so does that mean they executed the hostage?
I agree. I don't believe we have a kidnapping on our hands. Selling off stolen goods is extra work that most kidnappers would want to avoid. Unless they're after something very specific, they tend to just ask for cash. Could we be dealing with a kidnapper who's dead set on getting their hands on an ancient dragon handgun? It's not impossible, but the likelihood is very slim. We can discount that possibility for now. And speaking of selling stolen goods, don't you think this looks more like a transaction?
So, bottom line, this was an individual smuggler at work.
Exactly. And it was the location itself that caused the deal to fall through. The last thing they would have expected was for a quiet beach to turn into a bustling film convention overnight. Not only is the area now packed with tourists, but the Spina di Rosula have a presence there. I'll bet that both parties were completely caught off guard.
That sounds like a plausible theory, but how do we verify it?
Looks like your people better start rolling up their sleeves.
How so?
Easy. Just follow the usual procedure by putting up a lost and found notice. The more routine we make it seem, the more likely the suspect will come forward to claim it. Even if they send a proxy, we're liable to get our hands on new leads. And timing-wise, it's about time we updated the bulletin board anyway. All we need now is a lucky gestionnaire to write up the notice for us post-haste.
Ah, so that's what you meant by rolling up their sleeves. In that case, I may as well write it myself. Delegating this to someone else would require an additional explanation.
Or are you just not used to asking others to work overtime?
Is that really a major concern here?
Well, looks like I won't be needed around here. At least until the notice has been posted.
You could always wait here if you like. The Palais Mermonia serves a particularly fine cup of tea if that swings it for you.
Thanks, but no thanks. I left a very noisy creature with a friend before heading out, so I should probably get back to feed it.
Ah, I wasn't aware that you had a pet, Mr. Kanich. Speaking of pets...
Get out of here! Out of here!
Yep, that's the plan. Outta here indeed.
I believe that what Wriothesley is trying to say is, you are free to leave, Mr. Kukuku. Furthermore, it has been determined that Mr. Kukuku should not, in fact, be classified as a flying object. As such, he shall be free to move around Fontaine whenever he so pleases.
You're the best, bro! Oh, that really is good news! Travelers, should we bring Kukuku back to Aoife and Auroran?
I shall leave him in your capable hands. Indeed.
How?
What? What now?
Let's shake hands.
Fine by me! Get ready for a knuckle sandwich!
Ugh.
Oh, nice dodge.
Paimon feels strangely inclined to keep a safe distance. Did you miss me, bro?
Cuckoo, you're free!
Ugh, not you again. Nope, didn't miss you in the slightest.
Hey, Gramps. And hey, Paimon and Kanich. It's good to see you all. Thanks for bringing Kukuku back.
Get it away! Get it away from me! Nice to meet you, bro. Who are you calling bro? Say that again to my face! I dare you.
If you've got the energy to argue this much, you're clearly not hungry yet. Let's go find something to eat while a How lives his best life.
Poor How. He spent all day being tormented by Auroron, only to discover that the suffering's just begun.
Eva, as a Saurian vet, how can you just sit back and watch our little dragon bro suffer?
Huh? How am I the bad guy?
You even hear yourself? Ah! Doesn't anyone want to hear how Kukuku got out of jail?
Don't lose hope, How. By the same standard, you have freedom of movement now too. You're still in the game?
Same standard? I will not be held to the same standard as that thing!
That's right. You won't. As far as I understand, the Palais Mermonia will want to assess your case on its own merits before they grant you freedom of movement.
Where's that Saurian meat restaurant again? I'm gonna march that little pink balloon right into the kitchen!
Yeah, good luck with that, bro. You'll be putting your own neck on the line, too.
Also, there's no such restaurant!
Anyway, thanks for looking after a How, guys. I'll take over from here.
Why, you? Between the two, Kukuku wins the cuteness competition hands down. Ah, really? Thanks! Wait, who are the other contestants, though? The Lost and Found notice is up! Maybe we should go hang around the Palais Mermonia to see if anyone shows up to claim it. Huh, looks like there were quite a few others with the same idea.
Ah, hello, you two.
Have there been any developments? Okay, guess not. Well, the notice was only just posted. Guess it's pretty unlikely that someone would show up right at...
Special Patrol, open up!
Ah! Who's there? What's going on? The Special Patrol?
I don't think that's who this is.
Hey, this isn't the time for silly jokes! Let's go check it out.
Good day, all. Gramps, grannies, aunts, and uncles.
What in the Tevet are you doing here, Auroron?
Oh, he must be the one you mentioned. Kukuku's owner?
One of his owners. Kind of. But, bro, what are you doing here?
I'm here to claim a lost item.
Is this the person you saw on the boat, Mr. Kinich?
Somehow I highly doubt that. For starters, he just addressed us as Gramps and Grannies. And unless this is the youngest looking middle-aged man in the world, I don't think he's our guy.
Huh. Was there something wrong with my door-knocking etiquette? That's how they do it in all the films.
That's not door-knocking etiquette. That's the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol doing their job. Completely different things.
Oh, I see. I figured it was just a polite way of requesting entry to show the people inside you had something important to discuss. Oh, sorry about that. I totally goofed that one up. Give me a moment. I'll go back out and try again.
So, Auroron, you said you were here to claim a lost item. What did you lose?
Yeah, so basically...
For real now? Oh, come on, bro. Auroron, be honest now. Were you the one who lost this?
No, it belongs to a friend.
So it belongs to Aoife?
Of course not. Aoife has his own gun. All right then. I knew this wouldn't go well. So here's what went down. This morning, Aoife and I were playing rock, paper, scissors. Before long, he'd lost, as he usually does. So we figured we'd head out and visit some of the Cour de Fontaine's famous landmarks. When we got near the plaza, a man suddenly stopped us to ask for help. He said that he had lost something and that someone had found it and sent it over to the Palais Mermonia. But apparently he used to work here and was worried it'd be awkward bumping into his old coworkers, so he asked us to pretend to be the owners and claim it on his behalf.
You didn't manage to keep that pretense up for long.
It's fine. I'm not the one who feels awkward anyway.
So, a former employee of the Palais Mermonia. Was this individual a Fontaine native?
Yes, at least I assume so. He looked like a well-dressed gentleman to me. We were about to refuse, but he was so polite.
Could it have been a disguise?
Oh no. Auroron, Paimon thinks you've been tricked. This person might be in cahoots with the bad guys. Oh, maybe he already took off and escaped as soon as your mission went pear-shaped.
No way. I'm not that dumb.
Huh?
He's not going anywhere. Aoife and Kakuku are keeping an eye on him over at the plaza.
Keeping an eye on him. I like the sound of that.
In that case, let's hurry over to where Aoife is! Time to catch that con man and find out what's really going on here!
Wait a minute, I have a question first. Traveler, Paimon, you're pretty famous in Natland, right?
Oh, we're basically household names. But why do you ask?
Would that be a problem?
Remember when I said that the seller might be watching in secret?
If so, then picking Auroron to do their dirty work was a careless mistake on their part.
It suggests that the person who got Auroron to claim the item might not be fully in the know themselves. There are plenty of unanswered questions, but standing around racking our brains won't help. However, I still suggest that the famous faces among us, meaning the Traveler and Kinich, oh, and of course, Monsieur Nivelette too, stay here for the time being. We'll empty the box, give it to Auroron, and then he can claim the item as if nothing happened. I'll follow to check if anyone is watching. I doubt anyone would recognize me anyway, so I shouldn't draw too much attention.
I think this plan is worth a try. I shall leave it to the pair of you.
So, I have to go undercover again, right?
Well, not exactly undercover. Just drop the special patrol persona and be yourself instead.
Roger that. Over and out.
sign of any suspicious individuals around here. Auroron has entered the elevator as planned. I'll head over to the plaza now. Nothing suspicious going on here either. Strange. Maybe we're overthinking this?
Oh dear! Oh dear!
Stop with the pecking! Stop with the pecking! Please, sir, I'm begging you, do me a favor and get this pet of yours under control!
The heck are you on about?
Sorry, but he's not my pet. He's my coworker. And I should warn you, he's not too happy with how you're talking about him.
What the? This thing has a job? So in that land, they just dish out jobs to any old thing.
Uh-oh. Kukuku's not too big on being called a thing either. You're on your own now.
I'm sorry. Please, Mr. Kukuku. Master Kukuku. Lord Kukuku. I meant no offense, I promise.
All right, Kukuku. That'll do for now. Let me ask him some questions first.
Sure thing, bro.
Auroron actually looks pretty serious this time. Was he just pretending to be clueless earlier? Interesting. Think I'll sit back and see how this plays out.
You actually got it? Wow, didn't think it would be that easy.
Ah, excellent. Looks like sending you was the right approach after all.
After all?
I mean, because the staff at the Palais Mermonia don't recognize you, right?
So I got it, but I don't remember promising I'd hand it over.
Huh?
This thing's pretty cool. I've taken a bit of a liking to it.
Please don't do this, my good sir, my master, my lord. My very life hangs in the balance.
His life hangs in the balance?
If this means so much to you, what are you gonna offer me in return?
Are you trying to get him to say my life?
How'd you know that?
Because I watched that film with you. You should drop the act. We don't want a real misunderstanding in our hands.
You're probably right. But honestly, I don't know what else to say. Sorry, this is the most myself I can be. Is that enough?
Enough. More than enough.
Who's this dude?
Just think of me as a staff member from the Palais Mermonia. Now, if you don't mind, I have some questions for this gentleman about that life or death treasure you were just discussing. Truthful answers appreciated, of course.
Oh no, I'm toast now.
What's that supposed to mean? You don't think the Palais Mermonia has the ability to protect our citizens?
No, I mean, yes, of course they do. Please ask away.
I could do that. But I'd rather you just tell the whole story, from the beginning.
I suppose I only have myself to blame. Such a rare antique, I couldn't resist. I'm a collector of antiques. Nothing excites me more than rare, old relics, and to be completely honest, if someone's selling, I'm buying. I don't care to ask where they sourced their goods. As for the seller of this particular item, well, I've never met him in person. We've had some prior dealings, but always under the cover of coded ads in some shady tabloids. Lost and found notices, missing person ads, that sort of thing. As long as I took care to hide a time and place somewhere within the text, then slip some mora into the envelope before submitting the ad, it would get published. And that was that. No fuss, no trace. Simple, right? Normally, everything goes off without a hitch. But this time, I arrive at the pickup spot expecting a discreet in and out, and instead, I find a whole construction crew at work. That was not what we'd agreed. But I couldn't just let it go, so I reached out to him again the same way as usual. He replied, and do you know what he said? He told me that the item's now in the Palais Mermonia.
Well, he wasn't lying about that.
He insisted that it would be inconvenient for him to make an appearance himself, but said that if I could somehow find a way to retrieve it from the Palais, he'd give me a discount on the price. Of course it wasn't the discount that swung it. Do I look like I'm strapped for cash?
Feeling smug now, are we?
Feeling smug now, are we?
No, please go easy on me.
Go on.
Where was I? Well, anyway, I thought to myself, seeing as the item itself came from Natlan, it would make more sense if I could find someone from there to go retrieve it. And by a stroke of complete and utter coincidence, I just so happened to see these two young folks wandering around, so I'm so very sorry I underestimated the pair of you.
I need you to clear something up for me. You haven't paid the seller yet, correct? And yet he told you to collect the item from the Palais Mermonia. Was he not worried that you just split afterwards?
Well, to be honest, though I can't claim to know him very well, he, on the other hand, seems to know my name and where I live. Besides, this is a guy who managed to get his hands on an ancient Natlanese weapon. That's probably not the kind of person I want to double-cross.
Fair. That makes sense. So, Mr.
Please, just call me Argento.
All right, Mr. Argento. Listen very carefully to what I'm about to say. It will determine how much of the rest of your life you'll be spending beneath the waves.
What does he mean? Is he gonna drown him just like they do in those gangster films? Oh, I get it. He's talking about that place at the bottom of the Fontanian Sea.
Shh, can it?
Owing to your suspected involvement in the illicit trade of Natlanese relics, you're now one of the suspects in an international smuggling case. A trip to the Opera Epiclese seems unavoidable at this stage, but on the bright side, you still have one chance to make things right.
Okay. Do I really? Please tell me what to do.
It's very simple. Just reach out to your seller in the same way as usual, arrange to meet, bring the money, and make the deal. Just be sure to let me know all the details. I'm talking time, place, the whole lot. If we can catch the other party by doing this, you'll have gone some way toward redeeming yourself. Understand?
Oh, I see. I understand. You shall have my full and unadulterated cooperation.
Good. Don't break the law, and don't even think about making a run for it. The Palais Mermonia will be watching you and ensuring your safety. All right, take the box, but leave your ID and other documents behind. You can go now. As for you two, protocol dictates that I should take you both back to the Palais and have you sign a confidentiality agreement. But that would take a lot of time and effort.
Such a hassle, bro!
See, Mr. Kakuku knows exactly where I'm coming from. So, I was thinking, since you're all friends of the Traveler...
I understand, sir. We got dragged into this by accident, and it has diddly squat to do with us. And out of respect for the Traveler, we won't say another word.
Oh, I know this part. We better keep our mouths shut or we'll both be sleeping with the fishes in the tailor-made pair of cement shoes. In that case, I understand completely.
Not exactly what I was going for, but if that's how you want to understand it, then be my guest. Then it's settled. Thanks for your help. Boy, am I glad that's over. That's enough work for one day. Time to head back.
Judging by your expression, it must be good news, huh?
It went smoothly, on the whole.
So basically, we hold off until Argento and the other party have set up the next stage of the transaction. Then we plan our next move.
Patience will be key.
I get that. It's like hunting. I'm just not sure the other party will take the bait so easily.
Well, if he didn't need the money, or if he valued self-preservation over making a profit, he could have walked away as soon as the contraband was brought to the Palais Mermonia. On top of that, although he hasn't shown his face yet, he seems to have no followers or accomplices, and he's relying on an extremely limited set of options to push the deal along. So, if you ask me, he seems like someone who cares a lot about his image and has a somewhat high opinion of himself, but lacks any real ability. I almost get the feeling that if he misses out on this opportunity, he won't have any other way of making money. His every move is like a spin of the roulette wheel, hoping that the ball will land exactly where he wants it to. Or, I don't know. Maybe he'll cut his losses and vanish into thin air, and our efforts will have been in vain. At least Natlan will get the stolen relic back, so it won't have been for nothing.
In that case, let's hope his arrogance stays in play.
Everyone, I have just briefed the Marechaussee Phantom on the situation. As soon as there are any further developments, we will act without delay. When that time comes, we will be relying on your help.
We'll be waiting for the good news! May the glory... The Prinzessin bring light... Novelette sent someone to contact us this morning! That must mean there's been some progress! No time to waste! Let's head out! Late, are we?
No, you're just in time. Well rested, I trust?
A great way to stay energetic, certainly.
We received word from Mr. Argento yesterday. confirming the time and location of the transaction. It'll take place this afternoon, and it turns out it'll be somewhere we all know pretty well, too. The Film Fantasyland restaurant.
Oh, really? Huh. He sure does like that place.
Seems like you share our concerns, Traveler.
Indeed, capturing someone in a crowded event venue will be much more challenging than in an open area. The criminal might try to blend in with the crowd, or even escape by taking hostages. In light of this, we've had to make additional preparations. As soon as we received the news yesterday, we began coordinating with the Marechaussee Phantom and the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol.
We'll be deploying lots of undercover agents on site. If things go south, the safety of the civilians will be our top priority. Of course, fingers crossed, everything will go without a hitch.
I noticed a bunch of familiar faces from the previous case, like Captain Chevrolet of the Special Patrol, so I'm feeling optimistic.
We'll trust your instincts, then. Oh, yeah, and by the way, we've also been in communication with Miss Lapine Pauline and Miss Navia.
The Spina di Rosula will provide support within a controlled scope, so there's no need to worry.
The only potential issue is with Miss Escoffier. It would be easy if it were that simple. All right, no more jokes. Miss Escoffier has made it clear that she doesn't want her restaurant to suffer any losses as a result of this operation. But, well, I have a feeling things might not go quite as smoothly as she hopes. To be honest, we shouldn't have dragged you into this in the first place, and it's caused you quite enough trouble already. The Fontainian authorities should be able to handle the rest from here. But still, I'm guessing you'd like to see how it all turns out. Well then, feel free to head down to the scene, but just stay alert and play it by ear. You won't necessarily have to do anything. Unless things go pear-shaped, of course.
I'll do my best to ensure that things don't escalate to that point. Of course. There are still a lot of unanswered questions, but our intel so far indicates that the culprit's from Natlan. Plus, I'm already a witness in this case. Might as well see this thing through to the end.
That's the Kanichi we know and love.
Well, that's enough of the small talk. The operation's scheduled for the afternoon. If we're quick enough, we'll even have time for a few cups of tea before we leave.
Oh, and let's grab something to eat too. Can't work on an empty stomach, you know. And rooting for you. It's a very important job.
All right, I'll head over to the venue now. Ahal's been harping on for days now about this event-exclusive meal he wants to try. Guess I might as well shut him up sooner rather than later. See you in a bit.
I look forward to hearing how it all goes.
This beach seems to be getting livelier by the day. Traveler, Paimon's getting kinda hungry. Let's go check out the restaurant menu, shall we?
Your friend thought you might be thirsty. Won't you stay and drink it?
I tend to steer clear of drinks left out in the open.
You're surrounded. Give up and come with...
You lousy swine!
Stop right there!
Oh, look! A surprise performance! Wow! How lucky we are!
Quick, take a photo! After him!
Sorry, my guy. Unlicensed and illegally docked, this boat's not going anywhere. Quick! Don't let him get away!
Be careful!
Amazing!
Lowly worm! No one flies higher than the almighty Dragon Lord! Who's stealing my fun? You again! You're driving me crazy! Oh, wow,
Bravo! All right, that's a wrap.
Unbelievable! You can't just drag someone around like that! Such blatant disregard for human life! I'm gonna sue the living daylights out of you!
Will you now? I think I did you a favor by pulling you away from your audience. Saved you some face at the very least. As for whether you were facing up or down along the way, well, that was your decision, wasn't it?
Why, you... All right, I admit it. I was in the wrong. Oh, of course I know the difference between right and wrong, but I had no choice. I desperately needed the money. I was an expert on ancient relics. Not only did I have a successful career, but a happy family too. But my son, I never imagined he'd turn out this way. Fell in with the wrong crowd and ended up shoulder deep in gambling. We had some savings, but he drained them away like a waterfall. Once he fell into debt, he had creditors regularly coming over to threaten and intimidate him. I'm his father. How could I just stand by and watch him suffer like that? Oh, my son is about the same age as you are. If only he could have turned out more like you. That's the only reason I needed the money. Please, believe me. You... Please, kid, I'm begging you. Help me. I see you're from Natlan too. That makes us brothers. Please, have mercy. I still have a chance to help my son straighten himself out. But only if I get back. If I go to prison now, he'll be doomed, I tell you, doomed! And isn't standing together and fighting for a better future what families do? Our fate is in your hands, young man. Please, have a heart.
Something wrong, Kanich? Gone soft, have we?
I don't believe a word you say. Wriothesley had you just about figured out. You're a gambler. Pure and simple.
A gambler? Me? Nonsense! I told you, it's my son!
First of all, are you really from Natlan? You've been keeping tabs on the gun's whereabouts this whole time. You should have recognized at least one familiar face by now. On top of that, the way you threatened to sue me? Spoken like a true Fontanian, if you ask me.
Huh? What kind of logic is that? I can't explain. I actually grew up in...
I don't want to hear another word. Ahau, here's your chance. Shut someone else up for once.
The moment I've been waiting for. Eat this, scumbag!
Being a compulsive liar is one of the hallmarks of a die-hard gambler. I bet you're just a Fontainian pretending to be from Netland. Even if you have any friends or family to speak of, I'm guessing they've long since cut all ties with you. And you have your depraved ways to thank for that. Of course, I might be wrong. But does that matter? I'm just here to arrest you. If you're looking for an advocate or a shoulder to cry on, you're out of luck. Besides, prying the truth out of you is exactly what your beloved courts are for. Isn't that right? Many thanks.
And me? What about me? So rude. You should be bowing down in gratitude to the almighty Dragon Lord. Hey, what do you mean? Hold it right there!
Don't worry. I'm fine. I wasn't the one who just got dragged all the way here.
Little Kaniche, thinking back to when you were just an itty-bitty boy, Kaniche, aren't ya? Aw, don't start crying like a little baby. I am the almighty Dragon Lord! No servant of mine will be seen acting so weak and pathetic in public!
What are you on about? Still, I suppose there's no point hiding it from you. To put it plainly, I can't stand gamblers. They're the most irresponsible people in the entire world. No respect for the principle that you have to give in order to get. They'll tell 1,000 lies for a single coin, deluding themselves into thinking they can use it to gamble their way to a vast fortune. But we all know that even when it looks like you're getting something for free, there's always an unseen cost. In the past, I also ended up paying a price for my father's gambling losses. I don't want anyone else to end up in a similar situation if I can help it. Don't feel sorry for me. I certainly don't feel sorry for myself. They say that people are shaped by their past, and since I've made it this far, I must have done a lot of things right. We should never punish ourselves for the mistakes of others. Instead, I choose to remember the moments that helped me grow. Like when I first learned to use a grappling hook, or the very first time I yearned for knowledge. Yeah, I believe you. Let's get going. If we don't head back soon, we'll cause more unnecessary worry.
Yay! Traveler Kaniche, you're back! We just saw Chevro's taking the criminal away! She looked pretty pleased with herself. So after so much running in circles, turns out he had no fight in him, huh? Guess running away was the only trick up his sleeve. Oh, also, Risley said to let you know that he's already left. He went to report back to the Palais Mermonia. Apparently the Maréchaux say Phantom's preparing to carry out an in-depth investigation into illegal gambling activities. Sounds like they'll have their hands full. Anyway, that's for the Palais to worry about, not really our concern. Hey, it's not like you to give up so easily, Charlotte. Make sure you pick the best shots of Paimon. Oh, already gone. Hope she heard that. Yeah, you're right. But what took you all so long to get here? Did something happen? What? Rumors and slander! When have I, the almighty Dragon Lord, Kahulahau, ever sunk to such sniveling?
Often, actually. To be honest, I haven't decided yet. At the moment, I've got nothing urgent to get back for. And, in any case, the court might need me to testify again. Plus, that gun's still a key piece of evidence. I'll probably have to wait until the case is closed before I can return it to Natlan. So, I guess I'll be sticking around to enjoy the beach a little longer.
Traveler, it's you! Ready to join the Cheval Moran Film Fantasyland crew? It's time, dear partner in Paimon, for us to turn our attention to the Cheval Moran Film Fantasyland. As I mentioned, the park was started up by enthusiasts who brought in the Spina di Rosula to handle the planning, construction, and operations. Of course, enthusiasts aren't typically all-around experts. They usually stick to designing the event booths. We, for our part, handle long-term operations and develop standardized strategy guides for the different activities.
Long-term operations? Strategy? It all sounds so complicated. We spend most of our time adventuring and we barely have any experience running a stall. Do you think we can handle this?
That's more like it. You've seen it all before, haven't you, partner? I'd even go as far as to say you've shaped some of Tevat's biggest business ventures. Anyway, first things first. Let's get an overview of how the whole festival's gonna be run. As you can see, our Fantasyland's a bit like a sugar-free macaron right now. Several areas are still under construction. The Spina's only been able to hire a limited number of craftsmen. Besides, we don't have enough experience to handle multiple projects simultaneously. That's why I chose to adopt a time slot-based planning method, so we can focus on specific tasks during each designated period. Upgrading facilities, expanding the venue, hiring staff. All of this requires funds and time slots to accomplish. So, it's our job to allocate precious time slots in each business cycle to the most worthwhile tasks. As we attract more guests and earn money to add to our funds, we'll also be able to work more efficiently, which will allow us to divide each cycle into finer time slots, which will let us get more done.
So we'll be limited in the decisions we can make and tasks we can focus on within each time period. Which means we have to use our limited actions and Mora to earn even more Mora. Kinda like playing chess or cards then. Cooking up a strategy in advance is gonna be key. Paimon thinks she just about gets it. How do you feel about it, Traveler? Yep, come on, we can do this. You mentioned standardized strategy guides just now. Does that mean there are non-standard ways to take part too?
Of course. Film and entertainment mean different things to different people. And there's gonna be a wide range of exciting activities for people to try out. If we're not careful, some visitors might wander off and end up getting in trouble. And others might pick up dangerous props by mistake. To avoid confusion, we need to create a standardized strategy guide for each activity. Just think of it like a walkthrough.
Wow, if we're the first ones to test out the activities, who knows what surprises there could be waiting for us. But if we hit a tough spot, we'll just have to rely on our skills to carry us through.
Hopefully it goes without saying that I'd never put you in danger, partner. I carefully checked all the existing activities before you arrived, and I can assure you that they're all perfectly safe. I also wanted you to experience the activities before anyone else gets to. It'll be fun. Plus, we'd like to hear your thoughts and suggestions.
Oh, those are two things Navia is best at! Making people feel safe and having fun!
Great! Well, I can't wait to hear what you think. Your input is super important to us. All right then, let's start with Eclectic Escapades and put our first guide together. Both of you seem even more excited than before. Looks like your first trial run didn't disappoint.
Paimon hasn't actually watched that many films, but after trying it out, she might just be hooked! We should check out the film that it's based on!
Great job, Paimon. That's exactly what our enthusiast friends were hoping you'd say. They'd be beyond delighted to hear that visitors are curious about the films that inspired these attractions. Some have even been willing to contribute extra funds out of their own pockets. Where budgets have allowed, of course.
Out of their own pockets?
That's right. While the Spina di Rosula covers the cost of basic booth materials and rental fees, many fans have personally funded promotional materials and related merchandise. The cost of the booth itself isn't their main expense. Some of them have already started designing spin-off products inspired by film characters. Take our official mascot, Sir Intendant Chevalmoran, for instance. She won second place in the last most popular character poll for the comic film category, and was even dubbed the pinnacle of round, bouncy cuteness. Many people have expressed interest in designing cushions based on her image, using the highest quality fabrics and hiring the most skilled artisans to mass produce them. These cushions will officially go on sale at the next convention alongside lots of similar products. Sounds irresistible, right? Plus, as Surintendant Chevalmoran's guardian and official image rights agent, Farina will receive 60% of the sales revenue. After all, the fans are doing this voluntarily, not for profit, but to promote Surintendant Chevalmoran's adorable image. The more Mora ends up in Farina's purse, the better Surintendant Chevalmoran's meals will be. And who wouldn't be happy to hear that?
Oh, Paimon likes the sound of that. Everyone working hard for something they all love without worrying about profit.
Still, we can't just ignore Mora completely. Whether it's fan creations or official commercial projects, some level of financial balance is still necessary. The same logic applies to the Chevalmoran Film Fantasyland taken as a whole. Once we finish the standardized strategy guides, our attractions can officially be open to the public. But we can't take personal charge of the ticketing process. There's plenty of work to do at the various booths, and the park itself is a work in progress. We'll need to assign dedicated employees to maintain and manage each attraction. There's a recruitment section on the park's bulletin board. We've received many applications, and each candidate has their strengths. Our job is to match the best candidates to each attraction based on their overall performance. Once assigned, the staff will keep the attractions running, ensuring a continuous revenue stream.
Wait, so we've suddenly gone from being playtesters to heads of human resources? That's definitely a first for us. Just don't hold everyone up to your own standards, okay? You can't expect everyone else to be as capable as you. All right, time to review some resumes. Fingers crossed we'll get some exceptional candidates. Looks like this particular employee is really getting into their role.
You're both doing great. You sound more like bosses than I do. In any case, with this, the Cheval Moran Film Fantasyland is now officially open. Running a theme park is a long-term project. You won't make much if you try and rush it. We're just about done with our current work setup, so let's take a short break and wait for this cycle's revenue report to come in. Well, the numbers might not look that impressive, but given that we're just getting the ball rolling, I'd say that wasn't a bad start. Building on this momentum, we must consider rolling out more unique business strategies during the next cycle. To draw in the crowds, I've invited one of Fontaine's very own celebrity chefs, my good friend Escoffier. She'll be performing right here in the amusement park's restaurant. On that note, let's go catch up with her.
So, is the restaurant part of our business strategy too? There are so many layers to this operation.
The restaurant is up to standard, and the waterside location will make for a unique dining experience. The beautiful scenic reflections in the water create a stunning backdrop, lifting diners' spirits and allowing them to truly savor their meals. Ingredients, check. Cooking utensils, check. Looks like we're ready to rumble.
Hey there, Escoffier!
Oh, my employers are here. The president of the Spina di Rosula, plus the famous traveler and Paimon. I must say, you seem a bit overqualified to be running a film-themed amusement park.
I'd say that if anyone here was overqualified, it would be the former head chef of the Hotel de Boer. Wherever you walk, the aroma of fine cuisine follows in your wake.
Let's get back to business. I'm guessing you want the traveler to help me decide the theme dish for each cycle, right?
This is the business strategy I mentioned earlier. Using Escoffier's top-tier dishes to attract more visitors to the park. But this isn't just about attracting visitors. Her culinary masterpieces will surely have other surprising effects. Just imagine, Paimon, if all you needed was a single ticket to enjoy all the attractions and taste all the legendary food. Wouldn't you be tempted?
Then Paimon come every single day.
Now, here's the twist. To get the most out of this strategy, the menu can't be made public. Based on research by a certain food branding consultant, many restaurants have started offering a special chef surprise dish. So give me some inspiration every few business cycles, and I'll decide on our next theme dish. Now then, give me your hand. A warm and energetic feel. Your hands are calloused from wielding your sword, but still quite delicate. When you grasp its hilt, it's like you're holding the bow of a violin. A sword, then. The theme this time shall be strength. All right, let's find out what strength looks like in gastronomical form. I've refined the sauce for these barbecue ribs. It's a richer flavor than the classic version, but not at all greasy. The mint extract in the seasoning leaves a refreshing aftertaste, perfect for indulging yourself after a fun-filled day. But if you ask me, I'd say the artisans need these more than the guests.
The artisans?
As I'm sure you've noticed, this park isn't quite finished. A serving of these barbecue ribs should help the artisans replenish their strength much more quickly. As their bosses, you have an obligation to provide meals for them. So why not invite them to dine here? Who knows, the morale boost might even improve their productivity.
Oh, if I recall correctly, you once served up some special fish and chips for the porters over at the Fleuve Cendra. For several days after, the workers were all incredibly efficient. They'd finish 8 hours of work in just 5. And then, because they clocked out early, they'd come back completely refreshed the next day.
Then there's no time to lose. Go invite the artisans over while these ribs are still hot. I'll prepare some side dishes and desserts too.
That's a great idea! You really live up to your reputation, Escoffier! Looks like these themed dishes are gonna make a huge difference after all. We'll have to make sure we check in with you regularly. The artisans are pumped and ready to roll thanks to that themed dish.
And perfect timing, too. Let's take this chance to take the facilities of our eclectic escapades to the next level.
We should be able to attract more customers by upgrading the stall, don't you think?
That's right. Based on my business experience with the Spina di Rosula, I've quantified the service value to help you intuitively understand how satisfied customers are with each stall. An attraction will reach its ideal revenue only when its service value meets customer expectations. As we improve and expand our facilities, expectations will also increase accordingly. When that happens, we can deploy more capable employees or invest funds in training to enhance our employees' skills. That should be everything. Looks like you've pretty much mastered how to run this park.
Huh? Have we really? Thinking about it, we have learned quite a lot, haven't we?
Oh, not at all. I wouldn't say I taught you much. Your intuition's been guiding the way mostly. I imagine long-term operations sounded like a scary prospect the first time I mentioned it, huh? But don't let that scare you. Just break things down into smaller steps and tackle them one at a time. Even if you're not a genius or naturally gifted, you'll get it done in the end.
Whoa, seeing her own progress has really got Paimon fired up! Actually, she's gonna jot your words of encouragement right down. From here on out, we'll be running the Cheval Moran Film Fantasyland together. Let's make it a big success!